Fire away.
We just got the news about Raymond, kind of what's your take on that, and how do you guys move forward?
Yeah, well, I mean, disappointed. Disappointed, I think that'd be the best term to use. You just move forward, get some young guys. I'm excited about how Deshaun performed the other night. Like to get JoJo healthy. He's been, a little bit slowed down by an ankle. Get him healthy. But I'm excited about those two guys. Gives John George an opportunity to play in his last home game here too.
Mark talked about how he expects the team to play well Saturday. Is any of that at all related to so many young guys? This is their last chance to make an impression on Mark and you guys heading in off-season?
Yeah. Well, I think if we got the right guys, then anytime you have the adversity like we had the other night, obviously we coached poorly, played poorly. There was very little positive aspects coming out of that ball game. I think if we got the right guys, which I know our young guys are, then I think they'll rebound and play well. I think there's two different messages this week. There's number one, you got a group of seniors that I think the results may not look like it. I think they've done a good job from a work ethic standpoint. I think we talked about this maybe after practice last week. Guys like Kevin Mitchell, guys like Jordan Allmiller, Tyler Robinson. There's a couple other those guys that have done a good job showing the young guys how to work and mentality to have. So I think you approach it from one way. Hey, this is their last game. Guys, y'all got to get it, and this is the last chance to perform at this type of level at the University of Kentucky. And then the other aspect of it for the young guys is, hey, this is going to lead us into the off season. So we can go in the off season with a positive.
How difficult is it to prepare this week, not knowing what Jalen's status is, and with the two different quarterbacks up in the air?
Yeah, well, I mean, we'll go back to kind of what we did early in the year, really. Jalen will kind of be up in the air this week. Maxwell will get a majority of the reps, I would think, earlier in the week, and we'll just kind of see how both of them progress as the week goes on. Unfortunately, we've been in this before this year, so it won't be that much of a difference for all the rest of the guys.
Mark said, he knew the best thing to do is keep that red shirt on, but emotionally on the sideline there, it was going through his head to stick Reese in there, and as much as anything because he wanted to see what you had to work with for the future.
Yeah, I agree. I think that I think we made the right decision. I think, and he probably said this too, because I know he believes this because we've had a bunch of conversation. Is the right thing to do for him for Reese was to leave his red shirt on, especially this late in the season where we're at with the win-loss record. I think selfishly as a coaching staff, we would like to see, I'd like to see what he would do in a game. Okay, but we're gonna have to wait a little bit more time to see that. But I concur with what he said.
Do you just go into this one saying, come hell or high water, he does not, come off the sideline for one football game?
You put hell or high water's all strong words. I don't know to say never, but that's not in our plans to play him. You know what I mean? But we got two guys that are banged up too. So we'll be creative.
Mark mentioned that Jalen was having neck spasms. Is that a new thing, or is that something that's been going on?
That's the last couple of weeks. Yeah. Something happened in the Vanderbilt.
How close to 100% is Tim with ankle?
I think he's getting closer. I think he was probably a little tentative on it on Saturday. I knew he was tentative in the Vanderbilt game. That's why I didn't play him much. I think it's more a mental case right now than it is, physical. Where his ankle's well, we would not put him out there unless his ankle was in a position where he could give us everything he's got. So I think you just got to kind of overcome some of the mental shortcomings on that.
One more thing on him. How much are you emphasizing him that he needs to get in the weight room and just get stronger, start looking ahead to next year?
Yeah, well, we haven't talked about it a whole lot. I think he understands it. He's played. I guess this is going to be his 11th game now. So he understands. He's a smart kid. He understands, where he's at physically to the guys he's played against. And the other thing too is he's got to during the off season. I really think he'll probably show as much growth over the next 9 months as anybody we have in our program, just because he has so many things to learn from a route running and how to play receiver and things to do away from the ball. But the strength part is going to be huge. He hadn't had. He played all 3 sports till his senior year in high school. Then he had shoulder surgery, so he missed all summer. So he's really never been in a weight room. So it's going to be, you know, usually for those type guys, when they get in the weight room for the first time, their bodies really change quickly.
Other than his long touchdown run, what did you make of Mobley's other carries and the way he played?
Yeah, he did some positives. You know, I think he had 10 for 96, and the touchdown went for 60. So, you know, we weren't doing a whole lot of good things in the run game, and I thought he did a good job with some leg drive and getting some runs after contact. So I think he did a good job. He's always, you know, I've always thought he could do the things in the run game that he did. Now, obviously, I didn't think he was going to bust open on a short yardage run for 60. I was pleasantly surprised on that. What Deshaun's got to get better at is the pass protection and some of those things when he's not getting the ball.
Coach, with a bunch of injuries and season kind of at a wash, does this give you the chance to kind of take off the gloves and kind of throw whatever you have at Tennessee this week?
Yeah, we've thrown about all we got. There's 11 games in. So, no, it's I don't know. It's a rivalry game. I don't really look at it as being a wash. Here's the way I look at this is it's an opportunity for us to go into the off season with positivity. And I think we've shown some growth. Last 2 weeks have been a real struggle for us offensively. Some of that's because we've been beat up. Some people haven't played, and some of that's just some of the things we were doing to move the ball earlier in the year. People are catching on, but I think you're playing Tennessee, who's in a lot of ways in a similar spot that we are. New program, really good recruiting class coming in. Season hasn't gone as well as they would like it to go either, but it's a rivalry game. I think our kids will be excited. That's our job to get them excited to play. And we'll start with that today. And but there's a lot to play for.
Do you have those offensive MVP, a guy you would point to for that
This year? Well, I think the two guys that have played at the highest level all year are Darian Miller and Jordan Swindle. I think those are the two guys that have performed at the highest level. I'm really excited about Jordan Swindle. I know that the right tackle position doesn't get a whole lot of thoughts in the media, but he's really played well. He even played well last week.
Neal, have you had anybody surprise you? Have you had guys that have done a little better than you expected?
Yeah, Jordan Swindle. Yeah, I mean, he's a true sophomore that played very, very little last year and really struggled, to be honest, early in the year. So his growth as the year's gone on, it's been a surprise. And he's won. Jeff Badette, we didn't get him the ball as much the other night, but he won a lot. And I think Georgia's cover guys are pretty good, and he won a lot against Vanderbilt. And they've got one corner that he was going against a lot that's been all SEC. So Jeff Badette, Jordan Swindle, those two guys, those are the first guys that jump out to me.
You have been through, as a coordinator, anything quite like this.
Yeah. I hope not again either.
Yeah. Has it made you change your mind about anything, or has it solidified what you believed all along, as far as your core beliefs and what you want to get accomplished and that sort of thing?
Yeah, I think
going through something like this.
Yeah, I think that's. I really hadn't reflected on it much. John, it's probably a good question if we were sitting here next Monday.
We may not get you next
No,
time.
you're right. I really haven't sit and reflected on that a lot. I know this is the plays and the system that we have in place. When we get the right pieces, are going to be successful. I see them being successful in this league right now with teams like Ole Miss and A&M, Missouri. Got on the bus after the game, and I see Oklahoma State run the exact same offense that we're running, beating the number 4 team in the country soundly. So my beliefs, even though we struggled, and I'm a realist, I understand we struggled. We haven't performed as well as we liked, as anybody in this room or anybody of our fans or anybody in our locker room would like. But as far as what I believe in from an offensive standpoint, from a core belief, no, I haven't wavered at all.
It's kind of hard to fix something about us moving. Would there be a sense of relief after this coming game that it's all over and it's going to be easy to fix what needs to be fixed?
Well, I don't think it's a sigh of relief by any means, because for our program to move forward is our young guys have to improve. And the only way, from a football aspect, from fundamentally, is actually get your hands on them and work with them. And in the offseason, we don't have a whole lot of opportunities to do that. So it's not a sigh of relief in that part. And what was the second part of the question?
Well, I mean, but the off-season's kind of hard to fix something while it's moving.
Yeah,
When it comes to it.
yeah. That's exactly right. You can't, I have a very good grasp on what our problems are. Okay, I know what they are. I know where our weaknesses are. I know what we've got to do to improve from a schematic standpoint, from a personnel standpoint, and you can't do a whole lot of that during the season. I think that's fair to say. So I'm excited about getting it fixed in the off season, but I'm also a little bit down that this is going to be the last time that we can actually go through a week of practice with some of these young guys.
Dick?
Just to follow up to John's question, how different is the offense you have to run right now, given the limitations of personnel, injuries, the quarterback problems? How different is what you're doing now than what you intend to do in the future?
Quite a bit.
Dramatically different?
Yeah, quite a bit.
What's it been like when you're trying to coordinate that offense?
Well, I mean, here's the reality of it is my job is to put our guys in the best situation possible to win the game. And, I thought really minus 2 games, I think we've done that. We put ourselves in a position to have an opportunity to compete. I don't think we've won games on offense. You know what I mean? I really don't think, I'm a realist. I don't think we've gone out and won games. But we've been able to hang around in games, and with the exception of Alabama in the Georgia game, we put our defense in some bad situations. And we did that in the Missouri game also. But I think we've been able to hang around. We've ran the ball at times successfully. We struggle to throw it all year. I don't think that's any grand secret. We really struggle to throw it. We struggle to get open. We struggle to complete it. We struggle to protect it, every aspect. But I think, like I said, we've given ourselves a chance. Moving forward, we want to be, we're going to keep evolving. But I think what we've done the last 3 years at Tech, what we did at Troy, that style, I think it's kind of what John was asking. That style will be successful, and we will get closer to that as some of our personnel changes.
Jen, last one.
As a longtime Kentucky guy, they're unveiling the stadium
Uh-huh.
stuff later today. How important is it just for kind of the growth of the program, for those kind of
Yeah.
changes to be so visual and to be taking place?
Well, I think it's a great day. I think it's a great day. I think it's a great day for the Commonwealth. I think it's something that's needed for sure. Very glad that the legislature and Mitch working behind the scenes, Dr. Capilouto got it done. I think it's going to provide another burst of energy in our program. If we can it'd be huge. Have the unveiling today, and then go win Saturday night. Will be huge going into what's going to be a pivotal next 2 months in recruiting.
Okay, thank you very much, Coach Brown. Appreciate it. Coach Hill.